Welcome back, everybody, to the Meeple Marathon and our continued coverage of Altar Quest. Today we're going to be taking a look at an encounter. Encounters are slightly different than the main game of Altar Quest. They are played on a much smaller map. These are like large map tiles, very similar to their Street Master stage tiles. And just a few differences between an encounter and a regular game. There are no rooms. This is all one big room. So if anything ever references enemies in your room or heroes in the same room as an enemy, this is all one big room. Also, there's no doors, there's no features to add, there's no lurkers. A lot of those extra decks are removed from this scenario. The quest deck is replaced with an encounter-specific deck. So this is Camp Ambush. You can see essentially we're like as if we're camping in the middle of the woods and we're being ambushed. So that's the kind of scenario here. We have to keep the fire going long enough to get the villain out. When the villain comes out and we have defeated the villain, then we are victorious. There are some storyline encounters that are part of the campaign that add a bit more complexity or rules, but for the sake of just playing a one-off encounter, it's always just get the villain out and defeat the villain. There is no altar, there's no other features. For the sake of searching, however, there is a feature. In this particular encounter, it is the tree stumps, and you can see on the card here it says feature. So if I need to search, I will place search tokens on the feature card, and adding search tokens to the feature card will make it harder to search in the area. But I don't need to be I can either be on a stump space, which you can see here. This symbol on the card matches some of these spaces on the board, or, your search card. Otherwise, you will be placing search tokens here. Then there are other cards here that have explain what these symbols are. So the packs here, I gain supply tokens from. This is not used in the standard encounter. I'm assuming this symbol is used for one of the story modes. And then the campfire, obviously. In this particular encounter, quest tokens on the campfire card represent how big the fire is. If we ever run out of quest tokens, that means the fire has gone out and we've lost the scenario. Or if any point in time a hero is defeated, we lose the scenario. So essentially these encounters come in the Ruins of Arkenspire expansion, which was part of the Kickstarter, but was an add-on purchase. But to just kind of show off the what's in that Ruins of Arkenspire box, I will be playing with the Profaned Threat deck, which is in the Ruins of Arkenspire, along with the Thane of Nathander here, who's technically like basically a necromancer character. He's raising characters from the dead. These guys are not easy. I'm just going to throw that out there, especially Thane of Nathander. He is easily one of the more difficult villains that I have faced as of yet. He has his own minion shambler here that's basically going to be haunting us the entire game. And then, so we've got the kind of zombie soldiers, the ghosts that you can see on the card here, and the wretches, which are like these, I don't know, goblin type cannibal like minions here. Other than that, we are going to be playing with Gronin Bosk and Blake Gallows. Just as a general tip for playing an encounter, especially if you are playing by yourself, do not attempt your first encounter completely solo. I did. I thought, I've only got one character out. I also probably didn't pick the best character to begin with, so that may have added to it. But there's a lot going on these encounters. I've heard a lot of people say this is the best way to start. In my opinion, I don't know. There is less setup, but I don't know if jumping into encounters is the best way to actually play your first game. But anyways, I definitely went out and picked some people who I know can take care of themselves in battle. These guys are both in the stretch goals, and because there's a lot of fighting, at least in this encounter, because you're never really in a situation where you are alone. There's always threats coming out. Every time you enter a dark space around the campfire, enter into darkness, you draw a threat card. This Shambler is constantly going to be menacing us. So, at least in this encounter, pick people who can handle themselves in battle. So, don't pick like a healer and throw him in there by himself. All right. Just real quick, Blake Gallows, her kind of feature of her character is these paid cards, because she is a mercenary. So she can actually place supply tokens onto her cards, which represent kind of her payment, and then she can then use those payments or use the paid features on her cards. You'll see how that works out. Gronin Bosk is more of a berserker type character. He essentially is he can damage himself to inflict more damage, but then he can also discard armor tokens to heal back up. And he can gain armor tokens pretty easily through his cards. So, again, we'll see all that come into fruition. So, this encounter, essentially, we set up our threat deck and our villain deck just as normal. Our hero decks as normal. We do have a search deck off to the side, but that is it. No feature deck, no lurker deck, no quest deck, no altar. So I have my encounter deck, Camp Ambush, that the instructions have told me to pull out these 3 cards, place them here, place 1 quest token on the campfire, which essentially is telling me that the campfire, this 1 ring around the campfire that my characters are both currently standing in, is within the light. The campfire is strong enough that it is lighting up this area with like our sleeping bags in it. As I add more tokens, the campfire will get bigger. And so the ring of light will kind of push out towards the edges of the map. But there are ways that I can lose the light. And so the light will shrink back down. Essentially what I need to be doing here is either going and getting kindling from the tree stumps or supplies from the pack. 1 thing of tree stumps or 3 supplies can be brought back. And if you are adjacent to the fire, you can increase the fire by placing a quest token on it. You have to keep the fire burning until the villain comes out and then defeat the villain. These blue spaces with the little meeple symbol on it, this is where my heroes have to start. These red threat-looking spaces is the shadow spaces where the minions will come out. And like I said, pack spaces, stump spaces. We're going to ignore this space for now. There's even a stump space way over here. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it for right now. Let's just go ahead and get started, and things will look pretty similar along the way here. So I do need to start by drawing a threat card for each player. So I guess we'll just start with Blake Gallows here. Okay, so she's got Growing Dread. It's an event. Basically, I'm just going to have to complete a test during the activation phase, and it doesn't deal with me. And then we have a Haunting Effigy, which is a trap. So let me get a green trap here. Now, traps are interesting in the fact that traps are placed adjacent to the hero. They're like dropped down and plop right next to you. Since there's no feature card, you would have thought that they would almost put them surrounding a stump space, but they don't. Which it is not clear in the instructions. It is clear that they are dropped next to and adjacent to the hero, but I don't believe that that has a triggering effect. And once you have entered a space next to a trap, as long as you don't move and, position yourself in a different location adjacent to that trap, you're not going to trigger a trap. So if you move into it, take care of a trap, you trigger it once, and then you can kind of stand there and deal with it, interact with it. To my knowledge, I could just stand here and Gronin Bosk's first turn may be dealing with this trap, but I don't believe it goes off. Again, this is not really clear in the rules, but this is how I've been playing it. So if you feel like I'm playing that incorrectly, please feel free to let me know in the comments below. But the rules are very clear that you place a trap adjacent to your hero, and triggering is defined as when you move into the range of the trap, which in this case would be 2. So, you know, Blake Gallows obviously is going to have to head this direction or she would trigger the trap. But Gronin Bosk here isn't going to go. Or isn't going to move. I'm not going to let him move. All right. So, I forgot to draw up my hands here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's mulligan that. Well, that didn't really help. Okay, lots of search cards here, which isn't bad. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because Blake Gallows likes to have lots of supply in her setup here. Action ongoing, blood money. Okay, just my 2 cents. Okay, all right, we're fine with that. Okay, so let's go ahead and just see. Let's have Gronin Bosk go ahead and go first. Now his exhaust feature is basically to heal up using earth. We don't need that. I've always played I cannot damage a trap, so the best I can do here is nothing. To be honest with you, I could go ahead and search, but what I really want to do is simply interact with this. It is a task that I have 2 of, and I need to get at least a 2 in order for it to be considered a success. Or no, range 2. I can interact with it at range 2, but I'm definitely within range 2, so simply rolling 2 dice here. I don't have any way to increase that, but yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and go. All right, so not a great start for me here. I will use damage tokens on that, but it's not really damaged. Okay, so 2 focus for Gronin, and we're just gonna turn around and interact again. So these are our first 2 actions. 2 more successes. Not really what I was looking for here. So again, Gronin's entire first turn is going to be dealing with this trap here. Okay, whoops. That was a burst. Another burst. Just looking for focus tokens at this point. Okay. Where's that roll to begin with? All right, so this trap is dealt with. That goes over there. We gain a supply, put those in the middle, and Gronin Bosk's turn is done. All right. Okay, Blake Gallows can either head for a pack and start picking up supply tokens, which would be good. She unfortunately does not have a search card in hand. Okay, so I do have these 2 ongoing cards, which I'll probably maybe try and place 1 down here. Let's go ahead and try and get... I guess I really didn't position myself well. I thought the Gronin Bosk was going to be going after a stump and Blake Gallows would take care of any threats in the area. So I'm really kind of stuck just heading for a pack, which is fine. So let's do this. Let's go 1, 2, 3. At this point, I have entered through a darkness space because this is the darkness, anything outside of these first 2 spaces here. So according to the encounter deck card, I have to draw a threat. All right, so I am bringing in a wretch here. It's the yellow wretch. And he needs to go in the threat or the shadow space closest to me, which is this one. All right, I don't really have any range. No range on me right now. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is interact with the pack. You can see that I have to interact here. There is no test, so I simply gain 1 supply for my group. And so that was my first 2 actions, movement interacting. And let's see, I could go ahead and put 2 hits on the wretch, so I think I may do that. All right, so my Crooked Dark here, just to make sure you guys can see it here, has the exhaust this rune symbol to discard 1 supply, so we'll lose 1 supply, but that's fine. To deal 2 damage to an enemy in your room. Essentially, she can throw this anywhere in the room, and as we stated before, this entire campsite is the room. So I do have these poker chips over here that I'm going to use to signify I've exhausted a card, just so I don't have to flip them, especially because I'm going to be placing supply tokens on Blake Gallows. It's kind of annoying to constantly be rotating them, plus space and filming. It just makes it more difficult. So I can go ahead and put 2 tokens right away on that guy. And for my third action, I'm going to put this out there. So essentially I can put this on me, or no, I couldn't put it on Ronan, but if there's earth in the altar pool, I can add 1 dice to my roll, which is going to be very handy in the future. All right. Again, if I had this in my hand, I would be able to use the paid effect at certain points. At any point, I can use the use effect, and I will have to discard it. But I'm keeping it out here, hopefully going to be keeping earth in the altar pool and just exhausting the card each time. So that was my third action. We're done. Get rid of card. Okay. All right, so now we go through kind of standard setups here, and I've kind of set myself up here where I should normally go left or right, but I need to go this way. Okay, so the event here, either discard 1 focus or gain 1 threat token. Well, unfortunately, I don't have any focus to gain, so I'm going to be gaining a threat token. Just so you guys are aware, threat represents the fear of coming face to face with a profaned. Once during their turn, a hero may test. So this is not an action. Test blue, X is the success, where X equals the number of enemies in their room. For each success, discard 1 threat token from a character. For each minion in the threat deck increases their difficulty of their inflict test by 1 for each. So this is going to hurt when the threat activates here. But now I can test blue, which for Blake Gallows, she's 2 at everything. Then test X, where X equals the number of threat tokens you have. If passed, discard this card. So I really just need 1 success here. And we got it. I'm going to get, let's see if I can get any more focus. All right, I'm going to get a focus out of that, which would be helpful. And then I can discard this card. So that Growing Dread has been dealt with. Now the Wretch is going to move 1, 2. He's going to inflict 4, but I have a threat token on me, so that becomes 5. I am rolling. Oh, I needed to discard this earlier. Yeah. Rolling 2 dice. I don't think I'm really ready. Oh, and I completely forgot to start off with Blake Gallows. Her power here does not need a rune, and she can exhaust to either place 1 supply on a card you control or discard 1 supply to reveal a paid effect from your hand. So I definitely should have done that. I guess I will just drop a supply right there. Okay, so I don't really want to give up that supply yet. Do I? No. So I'm just gonna, maybe I'll get lucky here. Nope. Okay. I will go ahead and spend this to turn that into just 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. All right. So the Wretch is gone. Now we go up here to the villain turn. So the villain turn says if the servant figure is on his card, which he is, the hero with the fewest cards in their threat area spawns it. So that's Gronin. So this guy's going to pop out over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Technically, these are both the same distance away, but we'll choose to put him there. All right, there's not that altar in the pool. So essentially all the villain's turn doing is sticking this guy out here and activating him. Necromancer style. All right, so this guy is going to engage 1, 2, 3, then inflict 5, testing red. That's 2 for Gronin. All right, 1, 2 successes. Let's make it a third. So we are taking 2 damage. Okay. And then that's it. He doesn't have the rune he needs. Then we draw a villain card here. All right. Hands of Dread. Each hero adjacent to an enemy must resist 3. All right. So, oh wait. Gronin has a shield. So he should have only taken 1. Blake Gallows does not have an automatic shield. All right. Resist 3. So let's start with Gronin here. He's a 2 green. There we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, so we'll take this as a focus and Blake Gallows. There we go. Now we're getting the rolls we want. Okay, gaining a focus. And she blocked all of it. Okay, so we dealt with the villain turn. Put that up there, then we go over here. So, first card up here. Normally these should be in order, but I just kind of stacked them up like this for the sake of filming. So, activate each hero in a dark space. So right now, Gronin Bosk is not in a dark space. That does not have an enemy in their threat area, draws 1 threat card. Now, it's also, I have been wondering whether this should be coming down into Gronin Bosk's threat area, or whether it stays up here and activates on the villain turn. Not really sure about that. So, then if the villain is on the map, discard 1 quest token from the campfire. Okay, so we're good because Blake Gallows has the threat. She's in a dark space. Gronin technically does not, but he's in a light space. So we go down here, nothing needed from the campfire, nothing needed from the tree stumps, just the pack. It says each hero in a pack space may gain 1 supply or heal 1 damage. I think we will gain the supply at this point. All right. And then roll up to X Ultra Dice, where X is the number of quest tokens on the campfire. So I can roll out 1 die. That one's useless to me. Okay, lots of fire. Okay. All right, so now we've gone through all those cards. Then we draw a quest card. Edge of Light. Each hero not in a dark space must either discard 1 quest token from the campfire or draw 1 threat card. So unfortunately, Gronin is not in a dark space. I cannot afford to discard this. So Gronin, like I said, you really have to be prepared to do some fighting here in this scenario. So there we go. All right. So we take care of everything else. We are back to our hero turns. So let's flip all these back over and see what we want to do here. Now, wait, are enemies supposed to activate the same turn they are spawned? Because maybe that is the saving grace of having to deal with spawning enemies. Okay, if a card is added to a hero's threat area during their react phase, which is technically anything other than the hero turn, the activate effect on the newly added card is not resolved during that react phase. When the villain spawns, that's the villain. This is not a villain. So, I believe that we should have gotten a break from the Profane Shambler, because he spawned during the react phase. Yeah. So I'm actually going to take this back. Because otherwise, what's the point of me killing him at any point in time? He's just simply going to come back and be put in a space closest to me and come and attack me. So there's got to be some benefit to knocking him out, even if it's just for the round. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Who do we want to go first? I have 2 search cards for Gronin. I've got an attack card. I've got an ongoing card that can gain me an armor token, but it needs water. I could run up here and deal with these guys. But what I really need to do is start getting some wood here. But things are about to get messy. So, yeah, I don't know if I can afford to keep having to deal with these guys, because as soon as I exit this space, I have to draw a threat card. But I don't know if I can afford to just hang out up here close to the campfire. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Okay, so let's go 1, 2, 3. I will exhaust this card and this die here to deal 1 damage to an enemy within range. All right, can't gain an armor token. Do I want to deal with this? We suffer up to 3 damage. Reduce target's defense by 1. That's not helpful. That's not going to be helpful. Okay. Could really use some armor tokens right now, but I don't have any. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and attack like normal. I don't have any way of boosting this at the moment. So it's just gonna be a 2 dice attack, but the ghost doesn't have any armor. There we go. All right, 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. So it's up to 4. So that was my second action. And I forgot to draw a threat card here. And it's a trap. Okay. So this isn't the worst thing in the world, because I can put you right there. As long as I don't move, I'm not going to trigger the trap, but it is going to activate. Jeez. So much going on here. All right, I think I simply need to attack again. So yeah, we'll use our third action to attack this ghost. Hopefully we'll get lucky again. There we go, come on. There we go. Give me a focus token. Okay, well the ghost is gone. So that's gonna give us a supply. All right, I, however, am out of turns. I don't really have anything else I can do with the dice, so let's move on to Blake Gallows here. She's gonna start off by testing blue. All right, equal to the number of enemies in their rooms. Enemy, enemy. She's gonna need to spend this focus to be successful. She can get rid of that threat token. Okay, that was not an action. All right, now let's see what we can do here. You know what I should have done is should have put myself where I could put a damage on this guy, because he's very tough to defeat. He's got 2 shields. All right, so let's say we are going to exhaust our Crooked Dirk. Oh, now I get the water. It's going to put 2 more damage on the Wretch here. I can exhaust Blake herself to put a supply token on this card. All right, now I can exhaust this card and one of the dice here. Okay, came back the same to get +1 on my test. So I will, it doesn't really matter. They're both going to be a 2 dice test. So attack. So this is actually my first action here. I have to discard one of these. All right, 1, 2, 3 successes straight up. The Wretch has 1, but that's all I needed was 2 successes. So I have defeated the Wretch. I get my supply back. The Wretch comes off the board. Now, here's the tough part. Do I I need to move. So unfortunately, I'm going to enter into a dark space. 1, 2, 3. Means I'm gonna have to draw a threat card. It's another Shambler. It is a yellow Shambler. It's gonna go right here. Let's see here. I'm going to spend now my, no, I don't need to spend an action to do this. I'm going to spend 3 supply to place a quest token on the campfire card. So now this is the Ring of Light. Oh, what do we want to do here? Let's heal 1 damage. That's a feat card. Choose 1 here to gain 1 armor token. That's a feat card. So I think I am going to go ahead and use this. Might as well. Hopefully you can help Baronin here, who's going to need it. So I'm testing pink, which is 2 dice test. For each success, choose a hero to gain 1 armor token. This is a feat card. All right, I'm pretty sure I can split this up. So let's give 2 to Gronin and 1 to Blake. All right, then I can use Flame. Each hero deals 1 damage to an enemy adjacent to them. Darn it, that's wasted. Okay. All right, what do we want to do with our last action here? I want to keep that out, so I don't want to play that. Move up to 3 spaces, then attack, gain 1 supply. Let's see here. I don't want to rest. I guess I could draw a card. I don't really want to play that other feat. Yeah. What I think I may do here is channel. So I'm going to gain a focus token, and I'm going to flip, this one to this, because this is going to be very helpful here in the future. All right. So Okay, so that was my third action. It's time to go through all these guys here. All right, let's start here. Each character in this room gains 1 threat token, unfortunately. And must resist 3. Okay. So, resist 3. That's 2 dice roll for each character. All right, Gronin passed. And Blake passes and gets a focus token. All right. Okay. That's done. Now we go over here to the yellow shambler. He's going to go 1, 2, and he will inflict 4 on red. Okay, we're blocking 3. Let's go ahead and spend our armor token to block the 4th. He does not have the runes he needs. Okay, so we're done with the threat phase. Now we move up here. This basically just says that if the figure is on the card, he spawns, but he doesn't. So he gets to engage Gronin. So he's going to move up here, inflict 5 on a 2 dice roll. All right, blocking 2, 3, 4, and we'll take 1 damage. All right, so he's done. Let's deal with the villain card here. Each minion heals 2 damage. The servant gains 1 armor token, which is a pain. Okay, so he's up to 3 armor. Nobody else needed to be healed. All right, then we go over here. Nothing. Oh, activate each hero in a dark space that does not already have an enemy in their threat area. Draws a threat, so everybody's got stuff in their threat area. Nothing else happens, so let's draw an encounter card. Each hero not in a dark space must either discard 1 quest token or draw 1 threat card. Oh, God, these cards are awful. All right. I need to kind of get myself away from the threat cards here. Just so you guys are aware, if I get to the point where I have 3 quest tokens on here and I go to add a 4th, instead of adding the 4th, I get to discard without resolving the top villain deck, which is going to get the villain out sooner, which is what we want. We want to stop this madness as quickly as possible. Okay, so I believe everybody has resolved, and let's go back to our heroes here. Okay, so Gronin Bosk has a lot going on here. I could just go ahead and use that to get rid of her. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go ahead and resolve Blake Gallows first. So what she's going to do No, I don't want to do that quite yet. All right, so I'm going to use her ability to put a supply there. Okay, then I'm going to attack this. Okay. All right, so we're going to do this feat. Eye on the prize. Testing green 2, if passed, gain 1 supply and place 1 supply on a card you control. Then, using the rune that I set up earlier, for each supply on a card you control, deal 1 damage to an enemy within range. That's going to be this guy. All right, so we just need to pass here. I'm feeling pretty confident about this. It's just a 2. All right, we will need to spend 1 focus, but that's fine. All right, so we passed. So we gain a supply that I needed, and I can put a supply on one of these cards. Doesn't matter, let's put it on that one. And now, coming down here, I exhaust this altar die to for each supply on a card I control, which is 4. So circumventing his defense, this guy is now dead. Perfect. All right, gain another supply. And that was a feat card. So I've not used an action yet. Now, with this the way it is, I can... Oh no, I don't have that. And from where I am, I cannot really get interact one. I have to 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I can get within range 1 of that tree stump there. And maybe that's what we should do. Start getting more quest tokens. I really wish I had the wind rune that I could exhaust to help out Gronin here. Because he's going to be dealing with that. All right. But, yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Okay, so good. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3. We have to draw a threat card. Revenant, yellow, Revenant. You obviously are going to pop up right here. So that was our first action. Our second action is going to be to interact. And I may exhaust a weapon card I control. So I'm exhausting this card to test 2, but I get to add +1. So I'm rolling 3 here. Just need 2 successes, 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to gain 2 focus tokens out of this. Perfect. And I'm successful, so I gain a quest token onto my card. I also am going to test to get rid of this. That is 1, 2. I should have tested it earlier and there's less enemies. But there's my 2 successes I need, plus another focus. All right, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4 focus. Okay, so I interacted with the stump. I've got that. I can only carry 1 quest token at a time, so I can't just sit here and hack away at this stump. I have to basically go to the stump, come back to the fire, and get rid of it. But before I do that, because the Revenant has a movement of 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. It could get adjacent to me, so I can't really run away from the Revenant. What I'm going to do here is play... this card here. You may move up to 3 spaces, then attack. Now, I've already drawn my threat card for moving into the dark. I don't have to draw another one. So I basically am going to position myself right here, then attack. I will exhaust this card here, which means I take this die. Perfect. This die there to add +1 to the test. So it's a 3 dice attack. All right, 1, 2, I could make this a big attack of 5 by spending 3 focus. I think we will go ahead and do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the Revenant. And then what I'm going to do is use my Crooked Dirk here to exhaust this card. I have to spend a supply, but that's going to deal the last 2 damage to this guy, so I get that supply right back. And our turn is done. I got rid of this. Okay. So yeah, I think we're good. Okay. And I can spend this to gain 1 supply. I don't really know if that was worth it, but that's fine. Because I could have used that card. Okay. All right, over here to Gronin now. Don't need to use Unrelenting Fury yet. Don't have that, so don't want to use that yet. Reduce the target's defense. So to 3 damage to reduce that to 3. Okay. I think this is what we're going to do. All right, I'm going to go ahead and exhaust this and this card to deal 1 damage to an enemy within range. That's just going to sit there. Then I'm going to use my action here to discard 1 armor token to exhaust 1 minion within range, which is this guy. So we're just going to tap this guy, or we'll just use one of my chips. There we go. All right. So we've done that. Let's see now. I could use that, but I've already exhausted him. Ongoing, gain 1 armor token. All right, I'm going to, gosh, I really need to get rid of this guy here. Okay, so let's see. I guess I'll need to test 2 here. Oh, let's go ahead and do this. There's only 1 enemy on the board, so I only need 1 success. Can we get some focus tokens out of this? No. All right, so I can get rid of this. Good, that's out of the way. All right, so I guess I really need to get rid of this trap because it's just annoying. So let us spend a supply. Hopefully I'll get it back here in a second in order to make this 3 dice interact. 1, 2, 3. I need to spend 1 more of these, but I'm actually going to gain 2 back at the end of it all to get rid of this. All right, and then I will gain my supply right back. Okay, so that goes away. That was my second action, and now my third action is actually going to be to play this card down, and I will use the exhaust feature on this to spend this to gain 1 armor token. And yeah, I don't need to use that one yet. Okay. All right. So I believe we're good. We're all done here. Okay, perfect. All right, all these guys are done. This guy is done. Okay, so pretty clean area. We have nobody in our threat areas to activate, so we move up to the villain phase. This guy is exhausted, so we can take this off, but he's not going to activate. Let's draw a villain card. Each hero must resist 3. Each hero that suffers damage this way must attack +1, targeting the closest character in their room. If there are no other characters in their room, that hero must resist 3. All right, so I need to resist 3 here. 1, 2, 3. Unfortunately, I don't have enough supplies, so I'm gonna take 1 damage here. And so now I need to attack Gronin. Oh no. All right, for 3. Now does Gronin get to use his shield? Does he get to, is it an inflict? I guess I just got this 1, so now I'm taking 2. All right, then we move over here. You are trying to resist 3. There we go. All right, there's the 3, so we blocked that, so we're good. All right, so that's done. And we need to come over here. Nothing from the campfire, nothing here, nothing here. Each hero in a dark space that does not have an enemy in their threat area draws a threat card. Okay, so you get a trap. Again, is this guy supposed to be in my threat area or not? I guess we'll say not. So we'll draw 1 for you too. All right, that's fine. I can deal with that. All right, so there's the trap. Haunting Blake. We've done all this. Now we have an encounter card. Each hero may choose to discard 1 search token from tree stumps. Unfortunately, I haven't searched the tree stumps yet. Then if there are no search tokens on tree stumps, each hero draws 1 threat. Son of a biscuit. All right, double traps. Perfect. And a shambler in red. All right, so I believe that's all the traps now that could possibly be in the deck. Let's see, what's the trap color? Yellow. Okay, so we know what Blake's going to be doing next turn. All right. So let's see here. We got to keep the fire going. Profane shamblers chasing us around. Who wants to go first here? Let's remove all these out of the way. Okay, so do I want to use a paid effect to heal up? I think I do. So my higher power here allows me to discard a supply from a card I control instead of adding one to reveal a paid effect. So I'm going to just simply reveal this card. For each card you control with at least one supply on it, heal 1 damage. I have 3 cards, so I can heal 3 damage. All right, and then I get to keep this card. All right, so I've got a whole bunch of these just my 2 cents cards here. And okay, so let's see here. First, let's exhaust this. Technically, I'm going to discard a supply, but I'm going to fire across the room at this guy. It's going to take this guy out. He loses all of his tokens, and I get the supply right back. All right. Now, I'm going to use this card, which is free, but I'm going to interact with the yellow trap here. So I get to roll 4 dice because I used the card. All right, 1, 2, 3, rolling 1 more. All right, so there's my 4 successes. I get a gain of focus out of it. So this trap is gone. That will gain me a supply. All right, that was 1. So let's now do this again. I'm going to exhaust this card this time. So this becomes a 3 dice roll instead of 4. There we go, 1, 2, 3. I will spend this to go ahead and get rid of this trap in one fell swoop. So I gain a supply. That was my second action. And for my third action here, I will go 1, 2, 3. I will place that there. I will also spend 3 supply to place a third one. So now the ring of light goes 1, 2, 3, all the way out to here. Right? Yeah. Basically up to the edges of these tents and stuff. Gronin's still in the darkness. But if Gronin can get over there and add some quest tokens to it, we can start taking out the fill-in cards here. Okay, so let's see here. Is there anything else Blake can do on her turn? No, I don't think so. We don't have that rune, so she's gonna end her turn. All right, Gronin, what are we gonna do here? All right, let's exhaust this to gain 1 armor token. Yeah, I think I'm just going to kind of ignore this guy for right now. It's a shame that he's not within range, but I'm simply going to go 1, 2, 3, put myself there. I'm at a range 1 of the stump space, so that was 1 action. I will now interact, I will test that, but since I'm exhausting that card, I get an extra dice just to ensure my success here. Plenty of success. So focus and a quest token. All right. So that was my second action. My third action will be to go 1, 2, 3. Actually, let's go 1, 2, 3. And spend this. That would normally go on there, but instead I just get to simply discard the top villain card. And I believe we are good. That was my fourth action. Okay. All right. Threat. Nothing over here in my threat area. Here I need to either discard one focus. We'll do that. And then test X, or X is equal to the number of threat tokens you have. So essentially, I can't lose. I will get a focus token out of that resolution. I get to discard this. Then we move over here. He is moving 3, so 1, 2, 3. If he cannot inflict, so he will engage again. 1, 2. All right, and unfortunately, each token within range will gain a threat token. All right, that's it. He's done now. All right, so then we go up here. If the servant figure is with the fewest cards in their threat area, spawns it. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can put this in either one of these. Let's put you up here. We've already decided that the turn this spawns, it does not activate. So now we go to a villain card. Each hero must either discard one random card from their hand or draw one lurker card. Now in this case, this would be a threat card. So I think I will definitely just discard some random cards here. All right, so we are losing. Oh no, blood money. That was my healing card I was holding on to. That's okay. And over here, Gronin has a lot of cards. He actually has not played any yet. Actually, I'm not going. That's fine. I already got one of those up and going. Okay. All right. So we dealt with the villain turn. Now we go over here. Each hero in a dark space. We are not in a dark space. We're both in light spaces, so we can skip all that. Moving on, and then let's go here. Place this card in the encounter play area. Interact. If you are not engaged, discard this card and gain one quest token. Okay. If it comes around to activating, if there is an unengaged enemy, discard this card and each hero suffers 1 damage. Okay. So as long as I'm not engaged, I can spend an action to interact and gain a quest token out of it, which is kind of nice. So we're just going to do that right away here. All right. So this is going over here, but we're just going to deal with that right away here. All right. So back to the hero turns. Boom, boom, boom. Blake Gallows is not engaged. Okay, so Blake's going to go ahead and spend right away. She's going to interact. If not engaged, discard this card, gain 1 quest token. I will immediately have tried to put it on the campfire because I'm adjacent to it, which would allow me to do this. So we're down to 3 cards left to get the villain out. All right. Now let's see here. So Blake's gonna go ahead and go. Do I have anything? Choose a hero to play 1 card. I may hold on to that. Actually, this one's not bad. Okay, so here I'm going to choose to discard a supply to resolve a paid effect. Paid effect says choose a hero to play one card. So I'm going to choose Gronin here. I get this card back. He's going to play this. So this is like a free action for him. He gets to search orange, which is his best stat. Then he can suffer 1 damage to exhaust 1 minion within range, and then gain an armor token out of it. So let's go ahead and do the search. All right, very nice. Very nice. Okay, lots of supply here. We're gonna gain 1 focus, and then this gains me a search card, so I've earned Potion of Fortitude. Ooh, even adding more to the orange. All right, we have to place a search token on the tree stumps here. Then I may suffer 1 damage to exhaust this guy. So this guy's no longer a threat for me. And hold on. This was 1, 2, 3, and I get 3 more supply. That's a very successful search. Okay. Then I can do this. Ooh, very nice, to gain 1 armor token. So I'm going to use those here in a minute. All right, perfect. All right, I liked that. So I actually have not, oh yeah, I interacted. Deal 2 damage to an enemy in the room. I think I will go ahead now and spend 3 of these supply to put 1 on here. This is going to discard a card. All right. My goal is to try and get to the point where I can bring the villain out at the beginning of my turn and then take 2 shots at him, or several shots at him, before he even gets a chance to activate. So, what do we want to do here? Let's discard 1 supply to exhaust this card. Put 2 damage on the Shambler up here. All right, we don't have this. We've done all of this. I could use this. Do we go and get another quest token? Maybe we do. It's gonna draw me a threat card. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I have to draw a threat card. Wretch in blue. I am going to put him right here. All right, so that was my second action. I don't think I necessarily want to just stay put here. I don't have that. I could go ahead and attack, but I don't have any focus, but I can exhaust that. So let's go ahead and exhaust this. I guess I'm just gonna have to deal with the wretch here. I'm exhausting this, and this is going to give me +1 to my attack. Yeah, let's go after the Profane Shambler here. Oh no, only 1 success. That's not gonna get past his. I'm gaining 3 focus tokens, but it's not helping me attack him at all. So this could be bad. Gronin might need to swoop in and save the day here. Okay. All right, because this guy's exhausted. I have 2 more cards there. All right. Yeah. Nothing else Blake can do. Oh, I should have tossed that one out when I did this. Yep. feet. Oh, yeah, let's do this. Feat card. Before we end her turn, testing 2. For each success, choose a hero to gain 1 armor token. Ooh, very nice. I like this. Very good, very good, very good. Okay, I'm gonna gain a focus out of that. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 armor tokens coming out. Let's actually give 3 to Blake. This is a very successful test. And 2 to Gronin. All right, then I can come down here and spend this to deal 1 damage. This guy's gonna go back to his card. Okay, perfect, that worked out well. All right, so maybe now Gronin doesn't need to necessarily come over and save me, but I don't know, 1, 2, 3, he could get here and do that. So maybe we will do that. All right, first of all, let's take care of this. There's 2 enemies on the board. So I need 2 successes. Spend 1 of you to get there so I can discard this. All right. Then, this guy's up there, this guy's there. Let us, yeah, I've got so many, oh no, yeah, let's hold on to you. All right, then we're gonna spend an action to move. 1, 2, 3. Blake's done. Then I'm going to interact. I will exhaust my shield to make this a 3 dice test. All right. Plenty, gain 2 focus. That puts me, nope, I can only gain 1. All right, so I gained quest token on my card here. Do I just move back? Okay, so that was my second action. I am gonna go ahead and exhaust. Oh no, I don't have that rune anymore, never mind. So let's come back up here. 1, 2, 3. We'll simply move right back. That's our third action. We'll chuck that, discard this. And now, as long as we attempt to put something on the campfire next turn, that should bring out the villain. Okay. Yeah. So there we go. Nothing else I can really do over here. Okay. All right, so we're good. The wretch is going to attack for 4. 2 dice test. One, 2, 3. I can spend 1 of these. So I'm taking 1 damage. No, I can discard this. There we go. Okay, so we pass the wretch. This guy just simply flips back up, so he's good. Then we go up here. We know what this is gonna do with the least cards in their threat area. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we'll put you right there. Okay, so he's back on the board. Then we will deal with this last card. Each minion heals 2 damage. The servant gains 1 armor token. Perfect. I can live with that. It's actually probably one of the better cards to have at this point. Okay, and then we will move over here. For each hero in a dark space that does not have an enemy. Nope, everybody's got an enemy. None of these activate, so let's go here. Each hero must either draw 1 threat card or discard 1 quest token from the campfire. Ugh. So, this is defeating my plan to get the villain out this turn. So, yeah, I'm just gonna deal with this. All right. Each of these guys is red. So red profaned will come here, and a red wretch will come up here. Okay. All right, so the question is, do I think I could take that guy out in basically like 2 turns? I don't know if I can survive with all these minions on the board here. All right, so let's start with Blake Gallows here. Yeah, that one's nice. Okay, so I am going to use my hired power to resolve the paid effect on this card. That's going to get me +2 to any of my attributes. So I'm going to use my +2, it doesn't matter. It's going to give me a 4 dice attack. We'll go after the blue one, just because he's right next to me. Yeah, so we'll do... See, we can't get out of here. Oh no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if I spend 2 of my focus tokens. Let's spend 1. No. Yeah, let's go ahead and put 5 on the blue guy. Alright. That was 1 action. No. Yeah, I attacked. That was 1 action. Is it worth it for me to spend a whole turn gaining a focus and flipping over a die so I can use that card? Yeah, I guess so. All right. So let's turn this one into this, which I will immediately use to deal the final blow to this guy, gaining supply. All right, we got to roll that one back out. Water. So this one's been exhausted. And then I guess we will do another attack. So we will exhaust. Oh no, I don't have that. We'll spend our 3rd one to just simply attack. Yeah. Attack this guy. 2, do I use that up? Yeah, I think I'm just gonna use this. So that's gonna give me 4 dice attack. Let's see if we can't close this out here. Ugh, straight 4. -1 is 3. Bogus. All right. This is not good at all. Ugh. Okay, so let's start with gaining an armor token here. Okay, so that's going to give us an armor token. Then, let's see, fire. Could use fire on this guy right off the bat. I could use fire on the Revenant. 1, 2, 1, 2. Not gonna get me there. Move up to 2 space. All these cards, I can move up to 2 spaces. Okay. Where's that card again? Okay, gain 2 armor, deal 2 damage to an enemy adjacent to your hero. Okay, so let's go ahead and exhaust the chipped axe and one of these fires. All right, we got fire right back again. We're gonna put a damage here. Then I will use this card. So I'm pretty sure using it's not an action. So I can gain 2 armor tokens, and then I can deal 2 damage to an enemy adjacent to my hero. So I've got this huge stack. So he's up to 3 now. 1, 2, 3. And I just need to figure out one more way to do this. I've used this. Gain 1 armor token, exhaust a minion. Gosh. So close. I think I'm gonna have to use an attack on this guy. Hopefully I can get there though. All right. So a 2 dice attack, and I need essentially 3 hits. I've got plenty of things, but I kind of need 3 dice to be able to ensure that I'm gonna get there. Okay, so let's spend a supply. Hopefully we'll get it right back here. 3 dice attack. All right, that's exactly what we needed. Discard one of these, that's fine. Get rid of the Profane Shambler here. So he's gone. Get my supply back. All right, I've used this card. All right, now the question is, do we think we can come up here and take care of this guy in time? So that was 1 action though. And I need to spend 1, 2, yeah, see I don't have any attacks that are ranged, which is part of the problem. So I'd be running up there and I'd be getting gain 1 armor token. You can suffer 1 damage to move at 2 spaces and attack. Deal 1 damage to an enemy within range. So maybe we will go ahead and do this. Okay, so I'll spend 1, 2, 3. So that's my 2nd action. Then I'll play my 3rd action to do this card here. Attack, then you may suffer 1 damage. Do I want to save that though for the... No, let's just get rid of it here. All right, so I can attack for 2. All right, 2 hits right here. Then I can suffer 1 damage myself. Okay, so this is actually my 5th point of damage. Where are we? Move up to 2 spaces. I don't need to. And then attack again. We really don't need these anymore. So let's go ahead and discard this. Make it 3 dice. And just 3 more. 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be 5. And then what I think I'm going to do is spend this. Ooh, okay. I might be able to use that to put 1 damage directly on this guy. I want to be able to get rid of him at the end of the next round. Then, so that's my 3rd action. I've spent this card. I could discard up to 3 armor tokens to heal 3 health. Okay, and now I've spent this die. All right. Okay, so I think we're good now. All right, not the best scenario, but we'll get through it. All right, let's start here. The wretch is inflicting 4. Yeah, let's just do it. 2 dice to block. We will spend that and this, so that blocks all of it. Then we will go over here. This one is inflicting 4 on pink, which is just 1. So let me, yeah, I'm just gonna take it. Here's 1. Ooh, there we go. There we go. That's what I like to see. All right, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks it, so she doesn't do anything. Then each hero within range must roll 1 non-alter die. Well, that's fine. What do I use here? I think I can make use of the flames for sure. So let's do these 2. Uh-oh, I did not want that. Okay, that might be bad. All right, then each character gains a threat token, because I believe then it immediately goes down and it uses that alter die. So then we're gonna roll this out again. Now it's water, okay. All right, so he's gone. Then we'll go up here, nothing happens. Then we go to this guy. He is inflicting 5 on my 2 dice roll, blocking 2, 3. Oh no, this is 6 though. So blocking 6, I'm blocking 3 of it. So then we will spend these 3 here to block the rest. Then we go to draw a villain card and there's not one there. So we flip this over. We bring out the villain. And so I get to choose. All right, I guess I will put him here. Yeah, I don't know if any of these scenarios are good. Better than the other, but there we go. Okay, so it goes in a shadow space next to, close to one of the, yeah, so we'll just stick him there. All right, now he gets to activate. Each character in this enemy's room must resist 4. All right, so this is 2 dice attack. We'll start with Blake. 1, 2. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. I don't have 1, so I'm actually going to be gaining 2 focuses, but taking 1 damage, unfortunately. And this says for each character that suffered damage, heal 1 damage. It doesn't have any damage on it. Then engage and inflict 6. Okay, hold on. Let's do boss here. This is a resist 4. 1, 2, 3. So it's also taking 1. It's healing 1, but doesn't have any. And that's engaging me and inflicting 6 of blue. So yeah. Continue, come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, but this one makes it worse. So actually both of my characters should have 2 more on them. All right, so this is inflicting 7. I'm blocking 3, 4, 5. No, I want to hold on to you. 3, 4, 5. So I'm taking, again, 2 more. So I'm at 4. 6. So you can see I won't last long with this guy coming after us. All right. But he's gone now. And we can go here. And, okay, each hero chooses to discard 1 search token. No, and then if there are no search tokens, draw a threat card. I am not discarding that one because I don't need to. So that card's done. All right, let's see what we can do here. The question is, do I spend time dealing with these guys in hopes to survive one more round against the villain? Or do I just bash on him? He's got 14 hit points, essentially, that I need to knock out here. All right. And he's got 3 defense. So let's just keep that in mind. Okay. And as long as I can keep the Shadow Rune out of the altar pool, then he won't bring back the Shambler if I get rid of the Shambler. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Okay, let's take this off too. Let's start with Blake, I guess. I don't have any... Play this card before performing a test to choose 1 attribute. Add +1 for each card you control with at least 1 supply on it. Okay. So I'm going to spend an action here to put this card out. Okay. I'm also going to exhaust hired power to place 1 there. And then I'm going to spend this to... Oh no, I don't have that out. I don't have that rune I need. Okay. Okay, definitely gonna be playing that card. Let's see here. Search as an action, then move up to 3 spaces. How close is that gonna get me? 1, 2, 3. Not close enough. Okay, let's just try and attack this guy. I need 4 successes. All right, let's get rid of this first. No, because then I need to... Ugh. Okay. Just not going to worry about the wretch. I'm just going to go straight for this. So I'm going to take this back. All right. Okay. So let's do this. 1, 2, 3. Actually, no, I need to go 1, 2, 3. That way I have not stepped in a darkness space. I don't need to draw an extra threat card. All right, so that was 1 action. Okay. I need to do these all in the right order here, but I think I've got it. I think I've got it. Okay. Then I'm going to complete a search action. Hopefully I can just get 2 successes here. All right, perfect. All this rest of this is gravy. All right. So 1, 2, 3 successes. That's going to put 1 supply in here. I get 1 search card, improvised shield, gain 2 armor tokens. Discard this card. We'll just do that right away. All right. Then move up to 3 spaces, then reveal a card from your hand and resolve its paid effect. So 1, 2, 3. I need to stay right here. Okay. Then and I have to spend one of these. All right, perfect. Got that. And then I'm going to play this paid effect. Choose a hero to play one card from their hand. All right, so I'm going to play Reckless Assault here. I've got a couple of these. So this goes back into my hand. This is a free action. Move up to 2 spaces, then attack with red. Before rolling dice, you may suffer 1 damage. Okay. To add 1, so this is a 3 dice attack. Let's spend a supply to make it a 4 dice attack. We're obviously going after the villain here. Ugh. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I spend these 2, we'll definitely do that. But that only is going to put 2 damage on him. I need to get all my direct damage out there. Then I'll spend this rune to deal 1 damage to an enemy within range. All right, so then this card is spent. Do I feel like I should have done... Wait, where did I put that? Where did I just put that 1 damage on? So maybe I should just do this guy. Yeah. All right. Okay, so it's still... I've spent 2 actions for Blake, so we're back to Blake. Now let's do this. Discard 1 supply, roll this out. To deal 2 damage to a character, let's get rid of her. So we get our supply back. All right. Okay. So we've exhausted this card. Then, oh, I need some flame. Okay, then we'll exhaust this card, which is using the Shadow Rune to deal a damage to an enemy within range. So obviously we'll go after this guy. All right, I'll use my feet card here, testing pink. All right, 3 armor tokens. Let's give 2 to Gronin and 1 to Blake. All right, then flame. Oh no, I don't have flame. Hold on. I'm going to spend a turn to gain a focus, whatever this is called, focus, or what is this called, channeling. Then I'm going to spend that out to get that. Then we can deal 1 direct damage. That's what it's basically got to be, is direct damage on this guy. All right, so that's essentially Blake's turn. All right, draw a card. Okay, Gronin here. So now Gronin, oh wait, we wanted to resolve this now. There's 2 enemies on the board, so I need to get 2 successes. All right, I will spend this to make that 2, and I can, there we go. All right, same thing for Gronin. Let's just knock that out. 1, 2. Come on, give me some focus. All right, there's 2 focus I'm gonna gain. That will be helpful. I can get rid of this. Okay. All right, so let's see here. What I can gain an armor token. So that's exhausted. What else can I use up here? All right, then let's do this. Yeah. So this is going to be our first action here. We will attack with a red. Before rolling dice, you may suffer up to 3 damage. So I will go ahead and do that. So that's going to put me at 10. That's fine. I'm going to take care of that in a second. All right, so he's essentially at 0 defense. So I'm definitely going to take my opportunity to add 1 to my roll there. 3 dice attack here, come on, some bursts. All right, I will definitely spend my 2 focuses here to turn that into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a straight 5 on him. So he's up to 9. Then we will come down here and I will spend 1 of these out. Oh, there's a shadow. That's fine, I can get rid of that. To put 1 more on him, so now he's up to 10. All right. I can spend this to gain 1 armor token. Then I will exhaust myself to discard up to 3 armor tokens to heal 3. Makes me feel a little better about where I am. Okay, God, if we can't take him out, if I can't put 4 damage on him right now, he is gonna heal back up a little bit. So I've exhausted this card. I need some flame. And I need to just spend 1 of these. Water. I've got another reckless assault. I think that's what it's gonna have to be. But I don't know if this is gonna get through his defenses. Oh, man. So I've got 2 more actions. Don't have flame that I could use. That would be nice. I don't have any focus tokens, so I don't even know if rolling 3 dice is going to be worth it here. Unless I get lucky, I doubt I'm getting all the way to 4. So let's do this. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to search, see if I can't get anything helpful. I'm also going to spend this potion, which is going to give me a 5 dice search. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Okay, there's 2 bursts in there. All right, there's another burst. All right, so 1, 2 focus tokens coming my way. Those are helpful. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's gonna be 6 supply tokens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And a search card. Oh no, it's only gonna be 5 supply tokens because I had to subtract 1 here. My search card is Potion of Intellect. All right, so that's not exactly what I was looking for. Then I'll spend this to gain 1 armor token. All right, water. So that's discarded. I keep this. So that's my second action. Now my third action, I guess I will use Reckless Assault. Move up to 2 spaces. I don't need to. Then I will suffer 1 damage. Yeah, that puts me at 8. To add 1 here, and I will spend a supply, essentially making this a 4 dice attack. Come on, let's get lucky. There's 1 explosion. Oh, 1, 2, 3. So just 2 hits on him. He's 2 hits away. 2 hits away. All right, but unfortunately that was my last action that I had available to me. Let's draw a card. Okay. All right, threat area. This guy's gone. Wraith gets to move 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then it will inflict 4. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're blocking all of that. No runes to use. Then we move up here to the villain. The villain is resisting 4. So let's start here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yes, I will spend this so he doesn't heal. And then, actually, I've got this I can spend. So a 4 dice roll for this test. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll even gain a focus token out of it. Boom, so that's helpful. All right, now he is going to inflict 6. I guess we'll have him go after Blake because Blake's the healthiest here, but Gronin's got 1, 2, 3 automatic, so Gronin's going to do it. Gronin's going to take it. 2 dice. Let's spend this just to make sure he doesn't die. Oh yeah, 1, 2, 3. All right, definitely blocking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even getting a focus token out of it. Perfect. It's definitely blocking that. All right, so I think we've done it here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just make sure we survive this. All right, place this card in the event section. Yeah, we went through all this. Each hero in a dark space. Nobody was in a dark space because it's 1, 2, 3. Oh, then if the villain is on the... So we discard this. But now we're in a dark space. Or she's in a dark space. But that doesn't matter. We already went through all this. And simply, all I need to do at this point is activate. Discard a supply. Roll this out. Exhaust this to deal 2 damage to an enemy. That is 14. Ba-da-na-na. We have defeated the Thane Necromancer. All right. So, just some quick thoughts, really quick, because I know this video has gone on long enough. This, in my opinion, was no shorter than a regular game. Honestly, it may have even gone longer than some of the other games I've played. I've heard a lot of people say this one is shorter, it's easier to play. It was a nice change of pace, but I don't really see it being shorter or easier. Maybe this is just this scenario. Maybe it's because I was playing against the Profaned. But yeah, definitely just, it's nice to have a different way to play. It's nice that the setup wasn't as intense. But other than that, that was an encounter in Ultra Quest. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to be part of more videos like this in the future, please consider subscribing to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great night.